ASMR fans, incoming my second video, so I'm a little bit nervous again about doing this. I've been pondering in my head for the past few minutes, sitting in front of my phone, which is serving as my camera, on how to go about it, and I want to do a video. I don't know if this has been done at all before, if other ASMRists have done what I'm about to do before. I don't know even if anybody's going to be interested in this, but it's something I love, so I wanted to combine the two with ASMR and what I'm going to present to you. So to explain a little bit, I'm a big, and I've been for a very long time, a big games console collector. I know that makes me a bit of a geek. Some say queen of geeks. And it's not so much the playing, because I don't play that much. It's really the actual collection of consoles, and I just love it. I don't really know why. I know it stems back to childhood. We had different games consoles when I was young. I don't know, it just stemmed from that, and now it's blossomed into quite an extensive collection. I've got about, I haven't counted them lately, but I've got about 60 plus, maybe a little bit more, consoles in my possession, and today I wanted to present just the handheld consoles to you, because I think maybe everything might be a bit much for one video. I've got about 30-ish handhelds, so I thought maybe that might be enough for one video. And I've got behind me my computer, because I've also got a blog talking about the universe of game consoles collection, and it also includes all the consoles that I've got and all the consoles that have existed. So let's start here. I'm going to start with, so I said the handheld consoles, which are mainly Game Boys, but I've also got a few DS's and PSPs. So I'm going to do that for the moment. Maybe in an alternate, I'm sorry, another video sometime I'll be doing maybe the, I can't think of the word, the salon consoles, the console that you don't carry around with you. Anyway, I have a feeling that this video is not starting very well, but maybe I'll get into the flow as time goes on. Okay, so I'm going to start here with the one that everyone knows. I think everybody of my age-ish. I'm sorry if there's a bit of a light behind me. It's a bit dark today, so I had to put the light on. So here we go. The first ever Game Boy. It's the original, the mother of all Game Boys that gave birth to all the others. There are many. I haven't even scratched the surface. There are so many different versions out there. So this is the original Game Boy. Not all my consoles are in perfect condition, because obviously now they're becoming collector's items, and some of them can be really expensive, so I tend to grab the best offers I can find. So here we go. First Game Boy, off-white. There we go. Lovely little acquisition. It's always nice to have the first, the original, you know, and for my collection, obviously. But ironically not one of my favourites. And I've got this little setup where I've got them all presented on little presenting, I don't know what you call these, but that I put them on there just to show you. Just like that. There we go. And I've got them all presented nicely. So it's nice when I have friends over, it's a nice conversation piece. People are often surprised at the extent of my games console collection. And it's really a passion. I'm really passionate about this subject. I have more than one passion, so I'm quite a passionate person. Having passions, that's my thing. I'm sorry if I'm stuttering a little bit. I'm trying to put this. Okay, maybe I'll put them back after. Moving on to. I don't know if many of you know, but after the original Game Boy, they brought out a series of Game Boys called the Play It Loud series, and basically it's the same model as the original Game Boy, just in different colours, and this one is the transparent one. It's called High Tech Transparent. I don't know all the names off by heart, that's why I've got my reference behind me. So yeah, this is a High Tech Transparent Play It Loud Game Boy. And it's not always easy to find good deals on these because, as I said before, they've become really quite the collector's item. So sometimes some of these Game Boys and consoles can cost quite a lot of money. And it's more and more of a common thing for people to collect them. I'm hoping the little noises that I'm making, you can hear them. I don't know how well, because I haven't got a microphone or anything, I'm just starting, so and it just feels so lovely to just run my fingers across the consoles because I love them so much. Okay, moving on. Next we have Play It Loud again. This time it's the green one, and it's got its little Tetris game. As I said, it's not all in perfect condition. The ticket has gone here a little bit, it's faded. This one actually has the battery trap, which isn't always the case on all of them. I'm trying to hide that beam of light because it's not doing justice to my video. I'm now realising that I'm taking a little bit too long to do this because I've only got just under half an hour of space in my phone. The next one up again is a Play It Loud yellow. So that green one that I just showed you is called it's called Gorgeous Green. It's a nice name. And this one is Vibrant Yellow. So again, these are all Play It Loud Game Boys, the originals, but in a different series. The colour of the has changed, it's a different colour. Oh, I like that sound. That's nice. I'm gonna have to put all my setup back afterwards. Next, we move on to a nice radiant red. Now this one, the protective screen has been changed into the wrong colour, so you can get these on eBay for a couple of euros. I'm just gonna have to take this one off and put the right colour back on. That's not much of a challenge. Next up, we have quite a rare piece, actually. You wouldn't have thought so, but it's the traditional. It's called traditional white, and it's rarer than you would think. The other plate louds are more common to find, and this one is well, less common. And I got a good bargain on it because they can go quite. These ones can go quite expensive, and it's in really good condition. Quite surprising, really. When you know that these Game Boys, I think they came out beginning 90s, because the original Game Boy came out in my year of birth, 1989. But these came out, I don't know, a couple of years later. So yeah, they're vintage. I don't know if any of you are like my age, but if any of you are, you've probably, when you were a kid, played with a Game Boy at some point, and I don't know, just holding this big chunky Game Boy, it just brings back so many memories of childhood, and I can just remember myself with one of these. Not this particular model, because back then I only had the normal original Game Boy. Just, you know, clicking the buttons and playing Wario Land. That was like my favourite game on the Game Boy. And just having fun for hours with these things. Like they could have glued it to my hand. I wouldn't have been able to tell the difference, honestly. Alright, I'm taking a really long time doing this. I'm taking more time than I thought I would for each console. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm not going to show you all of my Game Boys. I'm going to just show you like the, excuse me, like the most uncommon ones, and the ones I find the most interesting, because otherwise this is going to take ages, and I've only got like 10 minutes left. Okay, so next I'm going to show you this one. I love this one because it's a variation on this one. So this one is the classic Game Boy Color Pokemon version that came with Pokemon Crystal. For those of you who know a little bit about that, this is the version that came with it. And this one, well, was a eBay purchase. Let me just have a look, see the name of it. Pocket, no. Game Boy Light, no. Game Boy Color. Yeah, I think it's just a classic edition. Yeah, a classic special edition Pokemon Gold and Silver Iridescent. I'm not quite sure I pronounced that right. I'm sure somebody will correct me. But yeah, anyway, it's more uncommon than this Pokemon, because this one is really common. I mean, lots of people had it, but not so many people had this one. It's more rare, although it's not unfindable, obviously, but still. I like this one. This one. No. Okay. I'll clean up later. Nothing was broken, don't worry. So, this is the Game Boy Pocket Pink. And I love pink. Pink is one of my favourite colours. That's why I wanted to show you. Just a classic Game Boy Pocket. I was so right, I'm not going to have time to do the other consoles. Up next, I think this is quite an original one too. So here it is, it's a Game Boy Pocket. It's actually got Pokemon Gold in it. I'm a really big fan of Pokemon games, like really. So this one, if I'm not mistaken, this one is, just one second. Yeah, I was right. It's the Extreme Green. I love that name. And it's not a very common console either, not a very common Game Boy, but I got it at quite a good price. I'm quite good at getting good prices on these things. But isn't it just so pretty with that green and the way the light shines through on the side? Oh, I just love it. It's so pretty. I never want to give it away. I wouldn't even sell it. Okay, what have we got next? I absolutely have to show you this one. This one, there's actually a funny story behind it. It's one of my most recent purchases, but not recent, but the most recent, you know. So, what happened basically is I ordered, I think it was a packet of, there was 4 consoles in it. There was like 2 DS's and 2 Game Boys, but I got a really good price. So, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. This is Game Boy Light Gold. So basically, I paid a fraction of a price for this. I don't know whether the seller knew what he had in his possession, or was it a mistake in the price? I don't know, but I got it for a fraction of the price, and it works fully. There's just one little default where one of the buttons you have to press a little harder. Other than that, it works perfectly, and I got it for a fraction of the price that a working Game Boy Light Gold would cost. And it was a mistake because the seller advertised it as a Game Boy Pocket Gold, So I bought it thinking I was going to receive a Game Boy Pocket Gold. When I received the package, I opened it and I was flabbergasted to see that I'd got a Game Boy Light for the price of a Game Boy Pocket. If that. Really, I'm just so over the moon, and it was a really big surprise. And basically the difference is it's these Game Boys only came out in Japan, so there's like a limited number of them made in the world. They didn't come out in any other country. So a lot of the Western countries, until recently, until the collection of Game Boys became popular, nobody knew about this console. You ask someone who has not much knowledge of about Game Boys, you say Game Boy Light, and they're like, what's that? So it's really not very common, and I was so surprised when I received it. I was over the moon. I've always wanted one of these, and they've always been too expensive for me, and now I've got one, and I've got a Game Boy Light Gold. Yay! Little anecdote about that. I've also got this one, but I'm not too sure which Game Boy this is. It's a Pocket. It's obviously, yeah, it's a Game Boy Pocket. That much was obvious. Yes, it's when I think about it, it's quite logical actually. Don't know why I didn't think of it before. It's the Ice Blue edition. And I love the colour. I think it's wonderful. But anyway, I'm running out of time. So I'm going to do a couple more, maybe. This one is also not very common, although it did come out in a lot of countries. It did a bit of a flop, I guess, compared to the other Game Boys. And it's called a Game Boy Micro, because it's so microscopic. And yeah. This is a nice blue edition. I'm so happy when I talk about my consoles. It's like, woohoo, it's party in my head. Obviously I've got quite a few more, but I'm not going to have time to show you. Which one would be the best to show you? Maybe this one. This is a Game Boy SP. Yes. This is a Game Boy SP Famicom edition, so it's a special edition. I think it's special. No, limited. Sorry, limited edition. There's a difference between special editions and limited editions. So this is limited edition Game Boy SP Famicom version. I think it's really cool. And again, I got it at a good price. Oh, listen to the sound of those buttons. Don't you just love the sound of those buttons just clicking away? Anyway, I am seconds away from running out of room on my phone, so I want to thank you all for watching. I hope you liked it. As I said, in a future video maybe I'll do the rest of my collection. I don't know, I'll see how this one does, if people liked it or not. Don't hesitate to give me your ideas, your thoughts on the video in the comments. Don't hesitate, I'd love to hear them. I'm sorry I've got to hurry up because I've got seconds left. So I will see you all later. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.